At 2:11 hours, a long-range radar near Haifa registers 12 low-altitude contacts emerging from the eastern Mediterranean range, 94 kilometers. Altitude, 25 to 40 meters. Speed 480 to 520 knots. Likely cruise missiles or attack drones in formation. Within 7 seconds, additional tracks appear from the northeast near Tyre. Ballistic in profile. Likely 122mm or 220mm rockets. Impact under 90 seconds. Inside Israel's Air Defense Command bunker, the threat matrix updates in real time to vectors, to altitudes, to engagement doctrines. Naval-borne low-flyers threaten offshore gas infrastructure and port facilities. Rockets threaten civilian centers in the Galilee. The first engagement decision is automatic. 3 Iron Dome batteries rotate toward the northern sky. Each can track over 1,100 targets, engaging about 20 simultaneously. Tamir interceptors launch in staggered sequence. Guidance radars calculate impact zones. Rockets in open terrain are ignored. Populated areas receive priority. At 2:13 hours, 18 Tamir interceptors are airborne. Impact altitude, 3 to 5 kilometers. 15 rockets destroyed. 3 penetrate uninhabited areas. The sea-skimming contacts are different. Their low altitude keeps them below radar horizon until 35 kilometers from shore. Naval Command activates a SAR-6 class corvette 20 nautical miles west of Haifa. Its MF Star radar locks onto 8 inbound objects. The ship's barricade system initiates engagement. Each interceptor costs approximately $1 to $2 million. Probability of kill against a subsonic cruise missile, 0.85 under ideal conditions. Against maneuvering drones, lower for interceptors launch. To sea-skimming targets disintegrate midair. 1 fragments. Debris continues ballistic trajectory. The 4th missile evades momentarily, descending to 20 meters altitude before being struck at 9 kilometers from shore. Debris from a destroyed drone splashes into the Mediterranean. Another drone evades initial engagement and impacts a power relay node at the Haifa port perimeter. Electrical disruption lasts 11 minutes. At 2:17 hours, the radar picture expands. Ballistic trajectories are now detected from western Iraq, approximately 700 kilometers east of Israel, near Al-Qaim. Burnout velocity suggests short-range ballistic missiles, with terminal speeds exceeding Mach 6. Estimated time to Israeli airspace, 7 minutes. The escalation threshold has been crossed. Israel activates Arrow 3 batteries located in central regions. Arrow 3 is designed for exo-atmospheric interception at altitudes above 100 kilometers. It uses kinetic hit-to-kill technology, eliminating warheads before atmospheric re-entry. At the 21 hours, 3 Arrow interceptors launch vertically, accelerating beyond Mach 9. Their engagement window is calculated at 80 seconds. Inside the Battle Management Center, commanders face a cost exchange dilemma. Each Arrow interceptor costs between $2 and $3 million. The incoming ballistic missiles may carry conventional payloads. Intercepting ensures protection, allowing impact-risk military or civilian infrastructure. They fire. The ballistic missiles are destroyed outside the atmosphere. The third separates into decoys. During mid-course phase, Arrow's discrimination algorithm recalculates. A second interceptor launches. It collides at 41 kilometers altitude. Debris disperses harmlessly over the Jordan Valley. For 20 minutes, silence follows. But silence in modern warfare rarely signals de-escalation. At 46 hours, Israeli intelligence detects encrypted communications between militia elements in southern Lebanon and advisors, believed to be linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps operating from facilities near Damascus. Satellite thermal imagery reveals transporter Erector launchers repositioning. The first wave was not saturation. It was reconnaissance by fire. At 3:05 hours, Israel scrambles to F-35I Deer fighters and for F-15I strike aircraft. Climb altitude, 30,000 feet. Speed, Mach 0.92. Armament includes Spice-guided munitions and AGM-88 anti-radiation missiles. The mission profile is calibrated. Strike confirmed launch sites in southern Lebanon. Avoid Syrian airspace to prevent immediate multi-front escalation. At 3:22 hours, precision munitions impact 3 suspected rocket depots north of Tyre. Secondary explosions confirm ammunition presence. But Israeli signals intelligence now intercepts a more concerning development. Iranian missile. Units near Kermanshah elevate readiness. Range to Israel approximately 1,000 kilometers. Payload capacity, 500 to 1,000 kilograms per missile. If Iran enters directly, the conflict becomes regional. At 5:10 hours, radar systems detect a swarm of small UAVs launched from southern Syria near Quneitra. Altitude 100 meters, speed 200 knots. Likely one-way explosive drones designed to bypass higher altitude defense layers. Israel deploys attack helicopters equipped with 30mm cannons and short-range air-to-air missiles. Engagement occurs at low altitude over open terrain. 8 drones destroyed. 2 evade briefly before crashing in unpopulated zones. 2 evade briefly before crashing in unpopulated zones. R-12 arrives with cumulative strain visible. Iron Dome batteries have expended over 120. Interceptors. Aero inventory reduced by 6. Naval Barak 8 cells partially depleted. Resupply exists, but it requires transport, reload, and exposure during movement. At R-18, a larger salvo emerges from Lebanon, estimated 180 rockets within 90 seconds. Iron Dome's engagement capacity saturates. 50 projectiles penetrate defensive coverage. Some strike industrial facilities near Acre. Casualties occur. Some strike industrial facilities near Acre. Casualties occur. Political leadership convenes emergency session. Option 1. Conduct deep strikes into Syria targeting IRGC command nodes. Option 2. Launch limited strikes into western Iraq. Option 3. Strike Iranian territory directly. Each carries consequences. Striking Syria risks Russian diplomatic and military friction. Striking Iraq risks broader coalition entanglement. Striking Iran risks full-scale regional war, including missile exchanges across multiple fronts. They choose Syria. At R-24, Israeli aircraft cross into Syrian airspace at 28,000 feet, supported by electronic warfare assets. Syrian S-300 batteries activate to interceptors launch. Israeli pilots deploy electronic countermeasures. One S-300 missile loses lock. The second detonates prematurely. Precision-guided munitions destroy a logistics complex outside Damascus. Intelligence suggests IRGC personnel casualties. At R-30, Iran responds. 6 medium-range ballistic missiles launch from western Iran, trajectory arcs, toward military air bases in southern Israel. Arrow 3 engages 3. David's Sling engages 2. 1 missile penetrates and impacts an empty runway near Beersheba. 1 missile penetrates and impacts an empty runway near Beersheba, creating a 14-meter crater. Israel now faces its most consequential decision: retaliate against Iranian soil, risking escalation beyond containment, or continue proxy-focused strikes. At R-36, Israel conducts cyber operations targeting missile guidance networks used by allied militias. Data packets introduce slight timing errors into launch algorithms, increasing circular error probability from 5 meters to over 40 meters. At R-42, another rocket barrage from Lebanon occurs, reduced in scale. Approximately 70 rockets. Intercept success rate improves due to adjusted deployment geometry. Naval intelligence reports suspicious maritime movement near offshore gas platforms. A second SAR-6 class corvette intercepts 2 unmanned surface vessels before they reach 5 kilometers range. By R-48, international naval forces reposition. A U.S. Arleigh Burke-class destroyer enters the eastern Mediterranean, activating Aegis ballistic missile defense systems. Diplomatic channels intensify. Regional actors pressure de-escalation. Yet the final 24 hours remain volatile. At R-60, Israeli intelligence confirms missile transporter relocation deeper inside Iran, but no additional launches occur. Instead, militia rocket fire decreases sharply. Y signals analysis reveals that initial barrages achieved their true objective. During the first 12 hours, electronic surveillance units mapped Israel's radar frequencies, interceptor launch timings, and battery relocation patterns. The opening assault was designed not solely to cause damage but to collect data. Israel's calibrated retaliation focused on Syria and Lebanon. Not Iran prevents full escalation, but confirms defensive architecture parameters. By R-72, hostilities decline. Sporadic rocket fire continues, but at significantly reduced volume. Interceptor inventories are replenish. Air patrol rotations stabilize. Mobilized reserves remain in defensive posture. The region stands one decision away from broader war, but that decision has not yet been taken. The first radar contact at 2:11 hours appeared tactical. It was strategic reconnaissance disguised as attack. Over 72 hours, layered salvos, ballistic intercepts, naval engagements, cyber interference, and precision airstrikes reshaped the operational landscape without triggering total war. Missiles were launched, interceptors fired, infrastructure damaged, casualties sustained. The opening drones and rockets were not the beginning of total conflict. They were the measurement. The calculation had changed.